up, Colin?
Hello, Gabe.
Rough day at the office, I can see.
Yes, it is. The boss won't get off my back.
Slow your nerves. You want to come and root beer?
Yes, I will.
I will have one too.
Thank you, Gabe.
Look, take 5 minutes. There you go, bro. Alright, so Colin, listen, man. I need to ask a big favor.
Yes, what is it, Gabe? What is it, Gabe?
Well, for college, we have to do this stupid project. Or we have to make a autobiography or have a whole bunch of information on someone in a report
Yeah.
on this one dude named Denmark Vesey. Now, I don't know anything about the guy, do you? By any chance?
Yes, I do. Let me see what I have. Okay, well, Gabe, I just happen to have quite a bit of information on Denmark Vesey and how he impacted American history. Let me tell you what I know more. Denmark Vesey was once an African Caribbean slave. He was purchased by a slave trader named Captain Joseph Vesey, who was from Charleston, South Carolina. Denmark Vesey is believed to have spent nearly 20 years traveling around with his master, Captain Vesey.
Wait a minute, that's confusing. Why would this captain buy one of his own family members to make him a slave? To me, that just doesn't seem right.
No, Gabe, it wasn't. When slaves were purchased, they were given the same last name as their owners. That way, other people knew who they were belonged to. There are no certain records of his birth, but smart people know that he was first named Telemac, and he was born in either St. Thomas or Africa. They didn't keep very accurate birth or death records of slaves back then, so it's hard to know for sure.
Telemac. That must be related to a Greek name, the Telemachus, which means farfighter, right?
Yes, it was.
That is interesting because Denmark Vesey came from a far away, and I was reading about how he planned a slave rebellion in Charleston. I guess you could say that he really lived up to his name, don't you think?
Well, in 1791, there was a revolution in Haiti. The actions of those Haitian slaves inspired Denmark to plan his own slave rebellion. It was supposed to take place on July 14th, 1822, which is a French holiday known as Bastille Day.
I don't know about the holiday. It's basically the French Independence Day, just like we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th. Right?
Yep. Well, the slave revolution was going to be very bloody. Vesey, a group of slaves, and also free blacks had plotted to kill their masters and set the slaves in Charleston free. Then, Vesey and the people who followed him wanted to sail in Haiti to avoid being punished for their crimes. They didn't actually kill anyone because 2 guys were against their plan, and they told the police about what that was going to happen. 131 men were charged with conspiracy. In the end, 35 people were hung for their involvement in the plan, and Denmark Vesey was one of the men.
At first, it might seem strange to some people to consider a man like Denmark Vesey an important person to American history. I mean, he wanted to commit murder, but I know that I value my freedom. Denmark Vesey was also a man who valued freedom, and he was willing to fight for that freedom. That is just like our British ancestors who were willing to fight for their liberty. so that one day our sons and daughters could also enjoy freedom. Thanks, man.
Welcome, Gabe. Nice
Now,
seeing you.
yeah. Sorry, we got close, but thanks, dude. After my talk with Collin, I went back to do some more research. I was able to find some more information about Denmark Vesey and at the time of American history. First, it is important to know that Vesey died nearly 45 years before the end of the Civil War. That means that he fought against slavery long before it was abolished. Here is an artist's idea of what Denmark might look like, because there's no actual photographs of him. He was purchased as a slave at age 14. He was highly sought after for his beauty and intelligence. He worked on a sugar plantation on Cape Francis, but nothing is known of his early childhood. In 1799, Denmark Vesey's owner, Captain Vesey, retired and settled in Charleston. Then Denmark won $1,500 in a lottery. He purchased his freedom on January 1st, 1800 for $600. I also learned that in 1816, Vesey encouraged African American slaves to split from the white Methodist Church. Vesey and his followers believed in the gospel message of God's grace and human value, and this encouraged them to start the African Church. This lasted only a few years until white authorities shut it down and demolished the church. Here's a picture of the trustees of the AME African Church. That is when Vesey began to plan his revolt. Vesey recruited thousands of slaves and black free men by appealing to their race and religion. He himself believed in the spiritual economy that he found in the church, and he was known as a persuasive and inspirational leader. Vesey planned to free slaves, burn the city, and murder the entire white population of South Carolina, including women and children. Here's a picture of Vesey preaching to his followers, and following it there is a picture of the slave revolt. The revolt was planned for May 30th, 1822. Vesey was put on trial and declared guilty of charge of conspiracy to commit murder and organize a slave uprising. He was hanged along with 35 of his followers. 131 people were also charged with conspiracy. 67 men were convicted. Here is a picture of the tree where Vesey is believed to have been hanged. Next is a picture of the house that he lived in Charleston. People still live in the house today, and it is a historical landmark. Following this picture is a brief music clip of common slave songs of the time. This is the kind of music that Vesey would have sung along with while working. You will see this epitaph on the final slide. We hope you enjoyed this mini documentary on Denmark Vesey.
I'll be so glad when the sun goes down.
When the sun goes down.
I'll be so glad when the sun goes down.
When the sun goes down.
I ain't all that sleepy, but I wanna lie down.
Just wanna lie down.
I ain't all that sleepy,